You see, I mean, it's a combination of both. I mean, here is the natural instinct, and here is control. You are to combine the two in harmony. Not if you have one to the extreme, you will be very unscientific. If you have another to the extreme, you become all of a sudden a mechanical man, no longer a human being. So it is a successful combination of both. So therefore, it is not only, I mean, so therefore it's not pure naturalness or unnaturalness. The ideal is unnatural naturalness or natural unnaturalness.
Yin yang.
Right, man, that's it. If you do not have style, you just say, well, here I am, you know, as a human being. How can I express myself totally and completely? Now, that way, you won't create a style, because style is a crystallization, you know. I mean, that way, it's a process of continuing growth. Pain-wise, it's very slow.
What was it?
And you push it out, but all the time you are keeping the continuity going.
Welcome, everybody.
Bending, stretching.
Another episode of Prolific Expression. Right here, listening to Bruce Lee's philosophy, which is timeless. It's always good to hear it and listen and apply. Let me see here. All right. Today, I wanted to speak on, we're live on YouTube, by the way. Thank you for showing up. Got brother Adam right here. So I wanted to speak on betas in the workforce. You know, there's a lot of people out there that, call, your common man, a worker, a slave to, or a normie in society. I don't agree or disagree in that. I'm just putting what people say. So, see, we got another guy coming in here. At the end of the day, everybody's a slave in this planet Earth in some way, shape, or form. So when people talk about the common man being, how do you call it, a slave to, how do you call it, in the workforce society. So my bad, I'm getting a little brain fart here. It throws other people off, but I wanted to say that people that are actually working out there in the real world, in the force out there, are actually the people that are most tough. I've noticed. People that work in the constructions, in the truck drivings, in the warehouses, in the whatever, you know what I mean? Those are very tough human beings, at least when it comes to the physicality, you know? So there's people out there that I've seen work that would get injured, you know, kind of like even when training MMA, you get injured and you go the next day to train. So even MMA fighters have this. They're tough guys because they get injured and they go the next day to keep training. So with workers also, it has similarities. You get injured, whether it's shoulder injury, hip injury, a back injury, any type of injury, and you go the next day, you show up the next day for your job and you keep moving forward. So that toughens you up. MMA toughens you up, and the workforce toughens you up. So it has its benefits. And yes, obviously you're gonna get hurt, and you just got to keep moving forward, and just like I'm saying. So what, you know, there's a lot of people out there that are pretty beta, like I was gonna say beta, when it comes to getting injured. Whether their little wrist is hurt, they can't write no more, so they're not gonna go to work because they can't write, or their shoulder hurts, or their back hurts, or they're sore, they will not show up for work. Now, I get it if it's an injury that you can't literally move, it's two different things. However, if you could move and do anything, then you move forward. Especially in training, you know, Adam's here, and I always think about jujitsu. I'm sure he's gotten injured many times, and he still shows up the next day, whether he may not be able to do the move he did the day before. However, you still show up with that injury and keep pushing forward to learn how to use your other parts of the body and get the choke or get the armbar. And same with work. Once you I've gotten my back injured many times, and I still show up for work. I would limp to work. I would, pick up shit with one finger or one hand or whatever, So that makes you that builds character too, man. Because if you're always just being in an office, just sitting down and how are you going to get injured there? Maybe you'll get injured by sitting down so long, but it's totally different, So that's what I'm speaking on. So I wanted to show you a couple of things here, YouTube land. All right. There's been times, and the reason I'm this way is because every time I will go to work in any at a warehouse, or like I said, or any truck driving job or any of that, I would always see that older guy that's been there for like 20 years, man. And then I speak with that guy, and then he tells me all the injuries he's had and all the shit he's gone through, and he still shows up. You know what I mean? Or he would tell me how it was back in the day, that it was so hard, it was blah blah blah, and he would still show up. And then nowadays people are so soft that they need their day. They have maternity leave for men. Like, what the hell, for I don't know, a month or two? What the hell are you gonna do for a month or two? Let you keep doing your thing. Go have a week off or whatever and spend time with the kid. However, you got to go do your thing, man. What the hell are you gonna do? Just look at the baby mama and the baby just bond, or what? Tell her to send you videos, man. That's beta, you know what I mean? And the reason I say beta is because I heard it from Jordan Lee Peterson and obviously AZD. Those guys always say beta, and that's my definition of beta. You know what I mean? Like, dude, go to work. You'll see your kid later, and that's the way it is. You're out there handling your shit. Stop being so emotional like the woman and do your thing. So like I was telling you, there's guys that have been working there for many, many years, and the stories they've told me are amazing, man. Like there was this guy that injured his shoulder, literally popped out at this job, and he said that he just popped it back in and kept working. And I'm all, really? Does it happen sometimes? Yeah, sometimes it happens here. While I'm working, I'm like, dude, that's freaking that builds character. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm like, why don't you fix it? I was like, I'll fix it when I retire or whatever. This is the mentality of the old school hardworking man. And like I said, it has a lot of similarities to like jujitsu or something like that. Like there's guys that train and their shoulder pops or their arm pops and they just pop it back in and they keep training. And that's what I'm saying. That it builds tough men being out there. So you got to look at that side. So when people talk about slave mentality, being out there, I get it. However, your slave mentality is in your mind. It's not what you do. If you could be a businessman and still have the slave mentality, you could be a working man, slave mentality. You could be an MMA fighter, slave mentality. You could be anything, and you still have the slave mentality. So you just free yourself from that, and that's the way it is. So yeah, so that old school story, and then I wanted to show you an injury I got myself from my job. I'll tell you a quick story. I was delivering some beer at a restaurant. I'm not going to say the name. However, I left my door open and my window, and as I'm coming out of the restaurant after making the delivery, I see there's a guy inside my truck. He's not supposed to be in there. It was 6 a.m. It's early in the morning. So I'm like, oh shit, what the fuck is this guy doing? And then I saw a car next to it. And apparently he was stealing my bag, my backpack. He stole my backpack, my lunch. And I see him grabbing it. And I literally threw the kegs that I had on me. And I threw them. And then I ran after him. And in the process, I fell down. And boom, I just got back up and then kept running. And then the dude got away. He got in his car and peeled out. I'm like, I was young too. I was like 26. I was a youngster, I'm 40 now. So I'm like, fuck, when you're young, you're all like, blah, 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 all this shit. You start feeling some type of way. I'm like, fuck this dude. You start getting angry, and I just yelled at him, hey, I got your plates, motherfucker. And anyways, that didn't make him stop. He kept going. So as that happened, I'm just walking around all angry and thinking what the fuck to do. I felt this warm liquid going down my left leg. And let me see if I can find it right here. It was actually bleeding. I didn't even feel it. When I fell down, I didn't feel nothing, man. I mean, it's the adrenaline rush or whatever. However, I'll show you guys real quick. Okay. You see the gash right there? That's my knee. All right. So here maybe I could see another. Here's another one when they were cleaning it up. You'll see it right there, YouTube. Look at it. It's a pretty big gash. It took I don't know how many stitches, but yeah. So anyways, I'm angry. You know, I'm sitting down. I'm not even thinking about the fucking cut or whatever. So then I'm all, okay. Now time has passed by. Now what do I do? Cleaned it up a little bit, and then I called my job. I'm like, hey, this had this and this happened, blah blah blah. And then I said I cut myself on my knee. They're all, how bad is it? Well, it's pretty bad. I think I'm gonna need stitches. Excuse me. I sent some pictures. They're like, oh yeah, you're gonna need stitches. And we've had guys get injured or whatever, and they say, oh, just leave the truck there. We'll have someone pick it up. Blah 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 blah. They asked me, are you willing to drive back? Well, whatever, I'll drive back. I don't care. As it's bleeding, so I put some, I think it was napkins. Dude. I didn't even sanitize that shit. I'm not telling you guys to do this. I'm just telling you my mentality at the time. So I dab it. I'm driving back to the warehouse. I get to the warehouse. They look at it, and then I go to the clinic. They stitch it up. They sew it up. And then they said, so Jose, are you gonna come in tomorrow? I'm like, hell yeah, I'm gonna come in tomorrow. I was like, how are you gonna work with one leg, you know, or after being stitched up? I'm like, I don't care, dude. I mean, because if I'm out, I'm not gonna get paid or make as much money. So I said, no, I'll come in. I got that stitched up. The next day, I showed up to work with stitches. Let me see if I have the stitches right after. All right, the stitch. Yeah, here's the stitches right afterwards. Boom. And this is as time goes on and it begins to heal. And then yeah, that's anyways. So I show up to work the next day, and people, all my coworkers, are like, what the fuck are you doing, bro? I'll take some time off, man. It's like, you got a open wound or whatever. It's gonna open up, and when you're working, I'm like, dude, I don't care, dude. I gotta feed myself and my family. I can't be taking time off. So I'm here to do a job. Now, if I can't do it, cool. So I work. Yes, it's harder because you have to keep your legs straight and not bend it so much. And so I learned how to work with this injury on me. You know what I mean? And most people, like I said, it's stupid. I'm not telling you to do this, by the way. I'm just telling you my story so you could see how tough you can be if you're mentally prepared. You don't have to just be there being beta and shit, or whatever you want to call it. So that's what I did. I went to work the next day, and I just kept working. I didn't stop working, and that's the way it is. And people nowadays, they have a little scratch on their arm, and then they don't show up for weeks, and then they expect to get paid. They expect this, they expect that. Like, beta, you got to set the example for yourself. Now, if you had a family and you had to pay the bills or do what you got to do, you're going to keep moving forward. And if you don't do that, then you're going to fall off. And if you have the government to help you out, more power to you and all that. However, that's not my character. My character is keep going forward, keep moving forward. I don't quit. And I know there's a lot of guys out there like that. I know Adam's like that. He's the same way with jiu-jitsu. You have, I mean, nobody gets ranked in jiu-jitsu just by being a beta or a little weenie, physical wise. You know what I mean? Because it all, at the end of the day, your mentality is the strong one. However, when people feel the pain in your body, that's when they start like, oh shit, I can't do this, I can't do that. So stop being a beta on that. And another thing that old school guys have shown me is you keep showing up until you really can't do it. And if you really can't do it, shit, you'll know. Your body will tell you, you know what, it's time to take a break and listen to it. You know, if you pay attention to your body, to your mind, to God or whoever's speaking to you, if you really pay attention, you will know when it's time to back off a little bit, let the gas pedal boom. However, that cut for me on the knee was not enough. Not even back injuries, not even shoulder injuries. I've even had a keg fall right here, right in the middle, boom, and I was bleeding. Still kept working. I didn't even go get stitches for this one. I just said, boom, it happens, whatever. You just keep going, and that's what builds character. Now, another thing that I've noticed in the workforce is everybody talks about everybody behind everybody's back. That's beta as fuck. We're not women. If you have a problem with some guy, you go up to the guy, you tell him you have a problem, and then you fix it with words, or you do what you do. You know what I mean? However, nowadays, the best way to handle it is just speak with the person man to man and take out the emotion and then go from there. However, most people nowadays, they just bicker back and forth like girls, and it's not gonna work, man. It doesn't work that way. You gotta um, take off the emotion and be logical and do what you gotta do. So yeah, that's that. Let me see what else I got. Oh man, there's so many things, so many examples that being out there, like I said, in the normie world, working with from in my opinion, the last of the men are out there in the workforce, whether it's construction, warehouse, blah blah blah. There are some women that are beginning to come into the workforce, and you could tell that at that when that happens, everybody starts acting different, and also the company starts softening up. I've noticed even the trucks that they make nowadays are so pussy and beta, man. It's hilarious. You know, back in the 2000s, they had big ass trucks with that sounded like strong, and you press on the drive button and then vroom. Nowadays, they even made them automatic, and there's a little switch. It's like, let's say this is the switch right here, and then you just go click click, and then that you hit drive, and then it goes. And then when you're stepping on the gas, it doesn't want to go, man. Like, what's going on? Like, it even sounds beta. The horn sounds beta. It goes, and back then it was, and so now you have all those fake ass fucking little buttons, drive button, and all this. Everything's becoming so soft because it's being infiltrated by the female version. I don't know. Women. Oh, you don't need a big ass truck like that. It doesn't need to be that loud. It doesn't need to be that strong. You're not going that far. I could hear a whole bunch of crap. However, nah, man, there's this truck where I work. It's like an old school truck, and nobody wants to drive it. However, it's the best truck at the moment for the same reason. It's a real truck. It's loud. It's strong. It hauls ass. And the other ones are all, you let go of the brake and it won't go right away. It's like it has an automatic brake and then it'll go. And that's like, it just messes up the driving. When you're trying to back up and the trailer, this is a truck talk, by the way, and the trailer is extremely heavy, you're going to have to step on the gas because, and then let's say you're backing up into a tight spot, you press on the gas, you don't want to hit something, or you think you're hitting something. That's why the old school truck, it just moves. You don't need to step on the gas because the strength of the trailer that pushing it. So there's beta ass trucks too. You know what I mean? So yeah, so that's the truck 101 right there for all my I'm sure there's some coworkers that watch this too and they understand what I'm talking about. But the best thing to do is when you have a problem with someone, just go up to the person and let them know, and then drop it. Just fucking drop it. It's not worth losing your job, losing your life, because there's crazy people out there for bullshit. And same and that you could even transfer that to your household. Like when you go home and you're afraid to tell your girl certain things, you're beta as fuck. If you can't tell her to be quiet, you're beta. If you can't tell her to obey you or do certain things, you're beta as hell. And if you women really don't want a weak ass man. They don't want a man to complain. Let's say you get home from work and you're a real man. You come home from work, and then you don't complain. You don't tell her how hard the day was, or how hot it was, or how tired you are, or any of that shit. You show up like the man you are, and then she's there, and then she said, "How was your day?" It was good. It was good. You know, don't start complaining to her, because if you start complaining to her, she's gonna take note. Like, ugh, it disgusts them. Just like they discuss us with their attitude, we discuss them with weakness, with beta-ness. So don't show any weakness when when getting home. So you get home, you say the day was good. It was, even if it was rough, it still got handled. So we're good. Don't show up, start crying to her and telling her this, and that. Just show up, and then now let's say she's in a bad mood, because that could happen too. Like, hey, check yourself. What's going on? Why are you feeling? There's no reason for you to act this way. You know, oh, it's because I have a headache. You know, they say I have a headache. I've been blah blah blah. Well, you gotta snap out of it. You know what I mean? What do you gotta snap out of it? You gotta get yourself out of your own shithole. I could only guide you, lead you, or show you how I've gotten myself from shitholes situations. So you gotta get up and snap out of it. You know, oh, well, you don't know what it's like to be with the kids all day, blah blah. You know how they play the victim all day. You know what I mean? Handle your, what did the kid do wrong? You as a father, okay, I'll handle him or her or whatever. And then you keep doing your thing. Now, stop being so damn bratty, because life has been so soft to you that any little thing gets you all riled up and you can't handle it. All right. It's 9:22. I'm gonna end this like a couple minutes. So yeah, so let me see. As I was saying, that you could transfer that to your household. So if you have something, men in the workforce or whatever, if you have something to say, you go say to that person. Do not say to one person and then expect that person not to tell them. Like they'll probably will. Oh, you know what so and so said about you. I mean, I've been at work and people say, "Hey, bro, so and so said this about you." At that point, I'm like, even the guy telling me, like, "Why the fuck do you even care, bro? Why are you even telling me? Let him tell me, or don't even bring it up, bro, because I really don't give a fuck." You know, that's beta. That's gossip. I don't care what that person thinks of me, and why are you telling me? Are you trying to start some trouble between us, or what? What the hell? That's what I'm saying. Like, if someone talks shit to me about another guy, I don't go to that guy and like, "Hey, bro, you know what so and so said about you?" That's beta, dude. Like I said. So if a person comes to me and talks shit, I'll be like, I don't want to hear it, I will say, "Hey, bro, did you tell him already?" Like, "Nah, I haven't told him." Well, then tell him, bro. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? I'll disagree with you and shit. He's not gonna, like, most guys will see the logic in not fighting, because every person has a lot to lose. Like when you see go in the wild and you see two male lions fighting, they go at it to death, man. They go hard. So if they're gonna do it, it's for a real reason. Right here, we're at work. We're here, both of us making a living. There's no reason why we both have to fight and be stupid. You know what I mean? So that's just me. So when I see two guys bickering back and forth, it throws me off too. It's like, ah, man, I was like. And you will always have that guy that keeps pushing it. You know, I've had situations at work where guys, you know, bite the leg a little bit, you want to say, and I let it go until it gets to the point like, "Hey, bro, what's your problem?" And then as long as you're intelligent about it, it won't go further than that. You know, but sometimes you have to show your teeth and growl. I remember AZD said this. Sometimes you don't have to fight. You just show your teeth a little bit and growl at the person, and they'll back off and they'll see, okay, cool, this guy's not to fuck with. And it's the same with your girl. Like, you have to sometimes show teeth and growl. But some of you guys don't even have teeth. You have gums and shit. You know, you show gums and don't growl, you whine. That's why your girl doesn't listen. You know, you gotta have teeth and you gotta growl. You can't have gums and you can't whine. So when you get home, show teeth and growl, and that's it. Don't show gums and whine, because it's not gonna affect her. Not affect her. It's not gonna show your strength, and she's not gonna respect you. You know, nature respects strength. Woman is part of nature, so she respects strength. And same with strong men. So, anyways, thank you everybody for showing up. Thank you, Adam, for showing up. This is check out Adam too. He always does a couple of Zooms, and it's always nice to hear him talk. And everybody in YouTube Lab, thank you for showing up. I'll see you in the next one. IMC Nation. Be the best. Fuck the rest.